My dear brothers and sisters, in the passage I've just read to you, we find as a small or rather big lesson for each one of us. The question was loaded, and Jesus answered with a loaded answer. The question was loaded because they were trying to trap Jesus, because Jesus was getting more and more popular, and the language was the language of love, which the Pharisees did not understand. Pharisees, the language was the language of the law. For Jesus, it was the language of love. And therefore, the plan was to do away with it. So the question was whether we should pay or not pay. If Jesus said they should pay, they will say, "You are a Jew. How can you do that? We are enemies of the Romans." If they say, "Pay not," you will say, "You are starting a rebellion against the Romans." So, loaded question. The answer is quite simple. It speaks about two things. We live in a world where we have laws, civic laws and laws of God. Which should we obey or we should not obey? As citizens, we have to obey civic laws, such as paying a house tax and water bills and light bills and other things. We have to, because we live in a society, and this society, in a way, a government takes care of us. But we belong more to God, because we are created in God's image and likeness. And that's what we read in the book of Genesis in the very first chapter. God said, after making man and woman, He says, "This is the man in my own image and likeness." And St. Augustine tells us, our hearts were made for you, which means our hearts are like your heart. And our hearts are made for not anybody else, but only for you. Therefore, laws, rules, the civic or religious have to be kept, but which are more important? The questions which all of us have to answer. And this becomes very practical in our life when we want to start a business, when we start educating children, or whatever it is. When these two things try to clash, so what is more important? When you find our business is going down, we want to improve it, what tactic do we use? Are they ethical or non-ethical? So let's pause and ask ourselves, Lord, give us that wisdom, that discernment to see clearly what is good for us and for our families and for the nation.